Good morning, everyone, and welcome back into Night Talk this Saturday morning right here on Annunciation Radio. I'm Eric Loprete. I'm your host, as always, and we look forward to bringing you this program this morning. As Knights of Columbus, we are always in service to those around us, and my guest today is absolutely no different, as he, along with Off the Streets, continues to serve the greater Toledo area and are, in fact, going to be celebrating their third-year anniversary in the Toledo area. And our guest today helped play a crucial role in helping this wonderful endeavor out, and I'm very excited to speak with him about this. My guest today, Mr. Tom Hagerty, who is the board secretary for Off the Streets, and he is also a council member of St. Joe's of Maumee. Tom, welcome into the program. How are you today?
Hi, great. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and we're really looking forward to this. Before we jump right into this interview, though, we do, as always, want to start with our prayer, and we want to thank my wife, Katie Loprete, for giving us this prayer this morning. So we'll just go ahead and start in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Gracious God, in the dawning in the new day, your grace shines forth for all to see. As today I begin anew, I ask for your blessing, knowing that you hear and answer every prayer. May I be open to your love and attentive to those in need, a sign of hope that comes through faith in you. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son,
Amen.
Holy Spirit. Amen. Well, welcome back into the program once again, everyone. My name is Eric Loprete, and we are discussing Off the Streets of Toledo today. We have a very poignant member of their board. He is their secretary for Off the Streets of Toledo, Mr. Tom Hagerty. And Tom, welcome back into the program. And how's your morning going so far?
Thank you, Eric. Good. We're actually, like you said, we're just getting ready to celebrate our third anniversary, so just getting things squared away for that.
Excellent. So we certainly Off the Streets has done a lot in the last 3 years, especially for those who may be coming off the streets from being homeless and into their first houses or apartments. Wonderful work that Off the Streets of Toledo does, and we're very excited to. Now, you've played a critical role in Off the Streets of Toledo. First, I kind of want to just start back from the beginning. As I said before, you are a Knight of Columbus member from St. Joe's of Maumee. So how did you become a Knight? How did you become a Knight? Yeah,
great. I'd love to talk about that. I actually, was checking out, to give you a little pre-story here, I was checking out Annunciation Radio's YouTube section where they have all your old shows just to get a sense of what I was in for here.
Yes.
And I recognized a whole bunch of names on there of people that I know around, so that was pretty cool. But you had Bob Bidwell on, I think a few months ago.
Yes, we did.
And I would credit him, I guess, with getting me into the Knights. I was at St. Rose at the time where Bob is, and I was working in youth ministry. And he kind of came up one day and asked me if I was interested in joining the Knights. And I kind of was like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, he said, what do you think that we do? And I don't remember the answer that I gave him, but he said, okay, well, let me put it to you as simple as I can. I'm sure this isn't on any of, the flyers or anything, but he said, as simple as I can, what we're doing right now is we're finding, we're doing activities, we're finding money, and we're connecting it to people who need it. I think they were, fundraising for I don't know if it was a chicken barbecue or what, but I was like, well, that sounds like a good, I can help with, I could do that,
Absolutely.
So I was like, sure, Bob, I'll help you out. So Bob kind of got me involved, and I didn't do, I'm not too much of a meetings guy, but man, when we get to doing stuff, I love to jump in and help out. I really get into the service aspect. So Bob kind of ropes me in, and we've my family moved, so I'm at St. Joe's now, but still good to see those brothers from St. Rose every now and again.
Well, we certainly want to thank Mr. Bidwell, who is always a wealth of information about the Knights, and certainly someone who's not afraid to ask people to join. So thanks, Bob. And once again, we are on with Mr. Tom Hagerty, who is the board secretary for Off the Streets of Toledo. Now, you mentioned you've been in the Knights since 2016, correct?
Yeah.
Now, are you a lifelong Catholic, or did you at some point convert over?
Yeah, I was raised Catholic, and I thank God the grace was always there. I think I only started getting good at it here as I get older. So, my parents did a great job with our family, and then, but yeah, at a certain point you have to take it on as your own, and I feel like right after college, kind of at St. Rose is where I really started to do that. So, yeah, grew up Catholic, good foundation, and yeah, just starting to be a big real adult here. I'm 35 now, so yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, as always, faith takes time to work on, so just keep working on it and you'll get even better at it. So now, how has being a Knight of Columbus really, I know you said that you're a youth, you help with youth ministry. You obviously help with Off the Streets of Toledo. I'm just kind of wondering you said you really love the service aspect of the Knights of Columbus. So when you do that service for others, how does that really kind of affect you spiritually? What kind of, insights does it maybe give you into your own spirituality?
Yeah, a couple things pop into my mind here. I think I really appreciate mentorship. I think mentorship gets really undervalued. I think, again, from a youth perspective, growing up, you have teachers, you have coaches, you have priests, you have people in your life that you can look up to and follow and that, guide you. As a student, you can get away with anything. I want to go check out the hospital and see if I want to be a doctor. You can, people help you along the way as a student. And then, you hit a certain age and you're just kind of like, it feels like on your own to a certain extent. So just being a young man and having older men to kind of look up to have some guidance, to have some direction, some mentorship, some accountability, all those great virtues. I think that really gets undervalued in our society, and just looking back on my own journey, super thankful to have the Bob Bidwells and the Greg Schaefers, these Knights of Columbus, these men to guide others and to bring others along. So, just happy for the mentorship that the Knights provided. And then as far as the service goes, you always think you're doing it to help others, but man, you get so much from it yourself. In the case of Off the Streets, it's great. It feels so good to help people when they need it. But man, it just changes you so much, and you are so much more thankful for the things that you have. Stuff just doesn't become a big deal. I remember giving a kid a lamp, probably he was 10 years old maybe, and just seeing how excited he got about receiving a lamp. And just, then you come home to your house and you have, 6 lamps or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just like, it just changes your whole perspective. Those are just, I guess, two points I would hit on there. The mentorship and just, how much the service humbles you and just makes you grateful for everything you have.
Well, that's an excellent answer, Tom, and you're certainly correct. There are a bunch of men in the Knights of Columbus who will be that mentor for you, and it's always good to have those guys, especially so easily accessible. So let's kind of fast forward. You're obviously a very influential person when it comes to helping Off the Streets of Toledo. But how did you get started, and what kind of what kind of experiences can you tell us from that?
Oh, yeah. I think I must have met Greg Schaefer at St. Joe's. He's the knight. I think he's the Grand Knight of St. Joe's at the time. And I knew him just casually. And one day he said, "Hey, I need some help moving some furniture. Can you help me out?" And he might have explained it better than that, but that's kind of just what I heard. So I kind of thought I was helping him move his furniture, but it turned out, it was Off the Streets of Toledo had just begun, and it was helping move furniture for, somebody going into a home. So just going through that experience, that first time, it was just really eye-opening, and being there physically with the people that you're serving and just looking them in the eyes is just really rewarding, and I was kind of hooked, and so I think that day even somebody mentioned to Greg about, "Hey Greg, can you help me with a grant?" Another agency asked him, and so we were talking on the way home, and he was like, "I don't know why she asked me to help with a grant, because we need grants ourselves," and that was something I had always wanted to try. So I kind of got involved on the administrative side of things, just trying to help us get some money. So with Off the Streets, I guess really too a little quick synopsis of what we do. We get money and furniture to help people who are homeless get into homes, get into apartments. So we provide security deposits and basic furniture and home goods to get people a fresh start when they need it. We have to balance having furniture, having money, and having volunteers all at the same time to make it work. So sometimes we're low on furniture, and we've got to work to get furniture in different ways. Sometimes we're low on money. We just have to kind of juggle all these things at the same time. So I was for a while there really trying to help on the money side. So we've got a few grants and a lot of individual donations, which we're so thankful for both of those, obviously.
Now, I do have to ask. Had you ever written a grant before this?
No, I hadn't. It was, I did some writing in college, so I felt like it's something I always wanted to try. This was the opportunity. And so, you kind of just put yourself out there to, I guess, people who want to give money to projects and be persuasive and let them know all the great work that you're doing. And we were lucky to partner with the Franciscan Sisters in Sylvania this last year. And they really provided security deposits for many families. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but they were a great partner for us and again, helped us to continue the great work that we're doing. And I know we've got another one. I'm a little bit out of the development side of things. I moved over to secretary, so I don't know the name of this next grant, but I know we've got another partner organization we're partnering with that we're excited about for this year as well. So, and individual donations as well. Anyone who wants to give, OffTheStreetsToledo.com is the website, and you can do it that way. There's a few different ways you can do it, but check it out on the website.
Excellent. Well, we are speaking with Tom Hagerty, who is the board secretary for Off the Streets of Toledo, and we will be right back with you here on Night Talk, right here on Annunciation Radio.
When I was a youth minister with a young family, I took on a side job as a recruiter to make ends meet. I was hired by Ken Hensley. He'd been a Baptist pastor, but felt like God was calling him to become Catholic, so he lost everything rebuilding his livelihood recruiting. I tried for 6 months and I failed at that job. 20 years later, a friend of mine with means reached out to me wanting to start a ministry supporting pastors who were becoming Catholic, and I knew just the guy. That launched Ken into full-time work for the church, not only supporting Catholic converts, but preaching internationally. Now he's living his dream. So what's the point of my story? Well, it would have been easy for me at that time of my life as a recruiter to think that was a sidetrack from God's plan and a waste of my time. But if I hadn't been there doing that, Ken wouldn't be making the impact he is today. See, sometimes when you don't feel like you're living out your purpose, maybe that time in your life's not about you, but maybe you're exactly where God wants you the most. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com.
Welcome back into Night Talk, everyone. I'm Eric Loprete. We are listening today to Mr. Tom Hagerty, who is the board secretary of Off the Streets of Toledo, and just some of his experiences. And we certainly want to talk to him more, especially as Off the Streets celebrates its 3rd year here in the Toledo area. However, before we do that, we do have our council announcements that we'd like to take care of. So go ahead, and starting on Tuesday, September 10th at 7:30, the Knights of Columbus will be hosting a financial webinar presented by the Knights of Columbus Asset Advisors. Link was provided to your grand night and has been posted on the Toledo Diocese Facebook page. Perrysburg Council 7978 is hosting a spaghetti dinner at Greystone Hall to support the 12 seminarians of the Toledo Diocese. That will be on September 25th from 4:30 until 7. A free will offering will be accepted. However, we are asking to please donate to help our seminarians. Contact Mr. Bob Bob Bidwell. For reservations, however, walk-ins will be accepted. And they're also holding their 12th annual Pick 3 raffle. Contestants are encouraged to start picking up their tickets as numbers will be drawn in November. Off the Streets of Toledo Maumee location has drop-off points every Saturday from 8 until 12 at St. Joseph Maumee. And the St. Ignatius drop-off point will begin again this month, and that will be from 11 until 1 at St. Ignatius parking lot. Also, a reminder, the Knights are raising money for the Diocese March to Life bus trip. Please make checks out to the Catholic Charities. In the memo portion, please put March for Life bus sponsorship. Checks to be sent to Tim Bowles Jr. As while we're on that subject, the Ohio March for Life will be October 4th in Columbus. And then also, we'd like to remind you to please get started on your Keep Christ in Christmas posters and to go ahead and order your basketball 3-throw contest kits. And Tom, as I understand it, you have some news from St. Joseph Maumee.
That's right. We've got another chicken barbecue coming up, so I think people are probably pretty familiar with how these work. September 14th is our next chicken barbecue from 11 to 2. You can get pre-sale tickets for $12. They're selling them at the masses on Sunday at St. Joe's, I believe. But also, if you go to the Facebook page for St. Joe's Maumee Knights of Columbus, you can find a QR code to do it online through Venmo. So technology these days, Eric, man, you can do it all.
I know, and the Knights are starting to catch on to that technology. So it's it's a wonderful thing. And then finally, also want to remind you, the second annual Faithful Warrior Dinner will be April 3rd at Parkway Place in Toledo, Ohio, and that will be hosted by Annunciation Radio. So definitely go ahead and make sure you have your tickets. Well, let's go ahead and jump right back into this interview. As I mentioned before, we are speaking with Mr. Tom Hagerty, who is the board secretary for Off the Streets of Toledo. Before we went to break, we were talking about him writing a grant to the Sisters of St. Francis that helped Off the Streets secure funds for their activities. But I really wanted to circle back to that because I had one follow-up question that we weren't able to fit in before break. But you had never written a grant before. You're sitting there at your computer, you're typing this thing up. What is inspiring you as you write this? And what are you just kind of take me through that process of you writing that grant and, trying to win over people, who you're asking for money from, essentially.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I remember first just having that weird feeling of like asking for money is just kind of an awkward thing sometimes. But man, when you really believe in what you're doing, like when you're, I got to think of it more as, partnering with these people. And what we're doing is so worthwhile that it's really easy to promote and to, I guess, sell would be a good word, but I'm not really selling it. But promoting what we're doing, it's just such a great thing, helping people out when they, in their time of need here. That it became a lot easier, especially when you're asking people to partner with you in this. It's like, we're doing work, we're out there, putting furniture in and out of trucks. Like not everybody can do that, obviously, but when you have the people who can write a check and the people who can carry a couch, and you get them together, you can change the life of families. You can change people's situations dramatically, and so that's kind of one thing going through my mind. The other is just looking at what we do. It was really impactful on me when I looked at, okay, who did we help so far? And as we go along, it seems that about half of the people that we've helped have been children. So I mean, these are a lot of times this is a family where it's like mom or dad, whatever, with 1, 2, 3, 5 kids, whatever. So just thinking that half the people that we've helped have been children, it's like, you can't control, as a child especially, you can't control a lot of things about your circumstances. So just getting children, into beds, getting children, sleeping on mattresses is just such a huge, huge thing, for them. So just thinking about, what all we've done and who we've helped, it makes it really easy to ask people to partner, to ask people to give, to ask people to give their money, give their time, to deliver furniture on a Saturday morning when you're impacting families like this. So we've been really blessed to be able to keep going here for 3 years, and I hope we keep going for more. So,
and that was very well said. And you know, there is a bit of a connection between Off the Streets of Toledo and the Knights of Columbus, as both were actually founded in New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven is actually, you know, where Father McGivney was from, and it's where the Knights started. So to see you guys, you are doing the work that Father McGivney asked us to do, which was help for the widow and the orphans, or just basically anyone in need. And I'm sure that's got to be very impactful that you guys get to live out his message every single day, or, you know, every time that you go and deliver to people.
Yeah, that is a neat connection with Connecticut. I didn't really put that together before, but a deacon in Connecticut kind of began Off the Streets, and then our deacon at St. Joe's, Deacon Ed Ireland, who works for Catholic Charities. You know, he kind of found Off the Streets is a larger organization than just Toledo. So we are the Toledo chapter. Mm-hmm. But he works with prison ministry, and so he's got men and women. I don't know if it's women too, but he's got people that he helps, you know, on their way out of prison. And one day he was just Googled, you know, trying to help people get off the streets. He kind of Googled that phrase, you know, because he said there's got to be a system, there's got to be a way to help these people. And that's how he kind of stumbled upon Off the Streets in Connecticut. And he said, oh, this is great. We got to do this in Toledo. And, you know, who did he go to? He went to his brother Knights at St. Joe's Maumee, and that's who kind of got things going early on. Of course, now we're much bigger than just, you know, the handful of Knights that he started with, which is great. You know, we've got people from all over coming to help, and we're very thankful for that. So, but yeah, it's just cool how, Deacon Michael started it in Connecticut. I didn't realize that connection before. And then, of course, Deacon Ed relying on the Knights so early in our beginnings.
Well, we got to have Deacon Ed on the show one day, so hopefully we can set that up at a future date, because he's in charge of a lot of projects, and he's certainly done a lot of great work around the Toledo area. Going back to experiences with Off the Streets, you know, you had mentioned before how eye-opening it is, and really helping, and, you know, and giving a lamp to someone, and that meaning so much to them. You know, for me personally, when I have ever done Off the Streets of Toledo, you know, I'm just so much more thankful for everything that I have, and I'm truly, and I always thank God for the blessings that I have. I am curious though, you know, as you've been involved with Off the Streets, do you really have any particular story that might kind of jump out at you that really kind of ignited a passion in you for being a part of this ministry?
You know, just, again, being there with people and looking them in the eye, I think just really sticks with you. So kind of, as you say that, you know, I can close my eyes and kind of picture one or two people that we've helped that, you know, I was able to have longer conversations with and just kind of hear about what they're dealing with. And, so I just, when you say that, yeah, one guy, you know, pops into my mind, specifically, and just, yeah, again, hearing all the stuff that he's dealing with and trying to better himself, for his family was just really inspiring to me. And then, you know, and then also the same guy, and this has happened a couple of times, just when the people we helped are so grateful and they see what we're doing and they say like, hey, you know, can I come help you out sometime as well? So like just seeing people so grateful for what we've done for them that they want to do that for other people is just pretty cool as well. So that, yeah, I remember that one guy I had a good 10-minute conversation with, kind of hearing his story, and then, you know, him saying, hey, I want to come help you out sometime as well, was pretty cool. So, you know, and I don't want to give away any specific information, but like, just being there, looking him eye to eye, like knowing him as a person, like just really sticks with you.
Excellent. Tom, once again, we are here with Board Secretary for Off the Streets of Toledo, Mr. Tom Hagerty. He's done a wonderful job. Also, did want to pass along some congratulations to you, as I heard that you and your wife are going to be celebrating your fifth child in January, correct?
That's right. Yeah. Thank you very much. We're excited, and we're going to find out. I guess we're going to find out soon if it's a boy or a girl. So we will see.
Excellent. Well, we're always happy to hear about that. Now, real quick, before we get off the air here, two last questions for you is, do we have any future goals for Off the Streets of Toledo, or any future projects upcoming that maybe everyone in the area might want to know about?
Well, we did just get a new truck, which is very exciting for us. Furniture delivery is a big part of it. Getting someone into a home is great, but an empty home can be a little depressing as well. So when we can get a truck and fill that home up and make it, really a home, it's a great thing. So we were very excited. We just got a new truck. I just drove it this morning. It had 292 miles on it, so it is brand new, which is really awesome. We'll be able to do so much good with that for years. So that's one exciting thing. And I think really. Just maintaining the consistency. So like I said, we've got to balance furniture and money and volunteers to make this thing go. And so we are, if we get too big, if we get too many people we're trying to help, then we don't have the money and the volunteers. So I think we're staying steady. I don't think we're trying to do too much as far as growth, but we're always looking for more people and to get involved. So if you want to check us out, offthestreetstoledo.com. And also when more people get involved, we send out, hey, we're going to move furniture on this day. Well, when you have so many people willing to help, it doesn't fall on just a few people. So it kind of spreads the workload out. And I think that's one of our strengths, is that, we've got a great group of people, and we're expanding that so that it doesn't, overburden any one person, hopefully.
Excellent to hear.
I think that's what I would say about where we're going here in the future.
Well, Tom, once again, we want to thank you so much for being on the program today. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you would like to find out any more information about Off the Streets of Toledo, please go to offthestreetsoftoledo.com. Tom, thanks for being with us this morning. Great job, and we look forward to hearing more from Off the Streets of Toledo in the future.
Awesome, Eric. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. That's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back on next Saturday right here on Annunciation Radio. This is Night Talk.